Hello, Taurus, to another The Love Variant reading. This is a timeless message. However you are here and whenever you are here is when there might be something within this reading. Of course, that may be for you. However, keep a few things in mind. That if you are here because you are Taurus in your sun rising and or Jupiter position, you may find that this reading provides universal justice. Whereas if you're here for Taurus being your Moon, Mercury, and or even Venus position, you may be in search of emotional redemption, and that's where we'll add flair onto this reading and suggesting that you check out the description box below and how to get to my sister channel, where the content over there may be more far-reaching into what you may be seeking for. All right, it doesn't matter how you get across, or if you are a sun sign Taurus and you happen to go over to sister channel, it's just for added flair. All right, it will resonate for those who will resonate with. What else? To know that in the description box below, I've made myself available, of course. If you'd like any of my services, please know I'm a master healer. I provide tarot services of light and shadow aspects, as well as any type of remote healing session wherever you are on this earthly plane. Feminine and masculine energies within a reading are non-gender specific, and please use your discernment to take all of the pieces that belong to you, and as you leave the reading behind, anything else that's left to forgo. All right, Taurus. There's a little bit of an attitude coming through, a little snooty, a little like petty. I feel like it's almost like a little disappointed inner child with someone. And this inner child is upset with the vessel of you right now. It doesn't like really appreciate some of these decisions you keep making based on the knowledge that you actually know. Because if you didn't know, then your inner child wouldn't know. And you kind of know what your inner child is referring to. And I say kind of because there's a lesson that the adult version of you about this situation still needs to learn. And that's clear because you're not paying attention or feeding your inner child. Okay, so how specific that is going to be left of someone who resonates with that message and wants to get a personal reading. That's the only way that can work. All right, moving along. Thank you. Someone wants to go into like cartoon animation. Dabbling in art slows down time for this person's mind, which is fantastic because the art that is going to be produced, because it's for someone who hasn't really produced this yet, is going to be amazing. Something to really watch out for. All right, so please know that the love variant reading covers whatever the love variant reading wants to cover. Again, this could be any niche of covering, whether you're single, widow, divorced, karmic, true, twin, whatever. Whatever brings you here may offer something, a standpoint, a viewpoint, something. Or maybe nothing. I don't know. But let's go right into this reading because I don't want to speak for the masses. I really don't. There are too many people lined up, too many spirits lined up, and saying really like wanting to really pinpoint the exact measurements of what's wrong with the social agreements and the verbal contracts that some of you are doing. And because it's negating a pathway between the journey that is quote unquote destined for you and not yet fulfilled because it's still your choice to make to malleate this or like create this destiny of yours. So it's not like your destiny is predetermined. Yet in the light of which they are recognizing you and they're looking at, like, I'm seeing someone pointing at a fucking piece of paper here and saying, like waving their finger in the air. And it's like, no, stop this. Stop whatever you're doing. And yeah, there's plenty of them lined up. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, because y'all have some shit to do with your third eyes to get to the exact message. You can get the messages. If I can see this and it rings a bell, or it smells interesting, or you just got a pinging of something in your consciousness that makes you say, whoa, then listen, it's your responsibility to tackle that. And if you need assistance, of course, there's individuals like myself around there for the assisting, but the one to tell the story is you, not me. Not anyone besides yourself. So some of y'all, like I want to say 75% of y'all, whether it's 2 of y'all listening to this goddamn reading, it's 75% of the population listening to this reading, for however long this reading will be out, that need to be challenged with your third eye, okay? Because your third eye has unaddressed discoveries by you. It's your Akashic records. Alright. The Empress nourishment. Yeah, like I said, like this third eye needs to be nourished, but overall the nourishing needs to just come from a space that you've resisted. With the 7 of Wands here, resilience, all right? You haven't been paying attention to these aspects of selves. I see the moon saying these are unaddressed wounds that need to be healed. You can do it while smoking. Some of y'all are afraid of smoking marijuana. I get it. And if it triggers anxiety, don't fucking do it. It's like needing to know when to stop smoking a cigarette or drinking the glass of alcohol, all right? It's like trying to be your own controller of an ego that has not gotten so entertained, and it has brought its entertainment. And as the sole proprietor of your vessel, it is your responsibility to gain that control, and that control is ultimate salvation. It's not something that someone will come and woo away from you or bestow upon you. It's something that you generate on your own. So the 7 of Wands is really proud of that energy, whether you see it or not, because that proudness comes from the energies of, again, which you do not see in the beginning of the reading. I alluded to, there's a lot of fucking people lined up here that want to address and point fingers at who's doing what, and that's the astral realm here. Those are the realms of which in this reality you do not see. Whether you kind of see in like feeling, smells, sensory, relapse, deja vu, whatever the fuck you call it, and whatever it is that however it is that you may need to feel validated, just understand that this reading validates your energy. It already validates the energy, okay? You don't need me more pointing at what needs to be validated for your own truths. If they're true, they're true. Now put honest measurements to them so they can bring a vivacious of reality to you that maybe could manifest from the astral realm into the reality of this third dimension. I mean, shit is possible. You're here, right? You're here listening to the woo-woo of the astral realms and travelings and trying to understand dreams and your visions and why you see color all of a sudden from people, and I don't know why some of you lost or gained memory. There's a huge shift that has happened to a lot of people, but people due to COVID do not know how to talk about their things. They don't want to make it about themselves, but at the same time, the whole narrative is like, oh, I want to know about your feelings. Yeah, no, the fuck you don't. You want to put my feelings in the category of statistics so that if I say the word and it fits the filtering of that statistic, you can allocate me to that statistic. And that is not fair. It's not universal justice. So in order to make that fair, to bring that into the reality of how it shows up in the love variant reading, well, what the fuck are you trying to figure out in the love compartment of things in various ways that he or she or it is here, who, you're here. Let's start with what is here, and you are here. Let's control that. And the narrative of who's coming, how he or she is coming, if he loves me, needs to silence in the fact that you just don't talk about it anymore. But it doesn't mean that you don't talk about it anymore. Keep it in your mind for a little bit. Keep it in your mind for a little bit. Stop opening the mouth and talking about it, because the more you talk about it, that's the social agreements of the astral realm that you keep fucking up, that you just don't see, because you're being in the illusion that you need to talk about it. But every time you talk about it, you actually see you're in the reality of space. You're not getting anywhere. What you're not seeing is you're supposed to keep your mouth shut for a little bit and have the other magic be some magic place happening, woo woo wah wah, and pop up and appear like as if it's out of nowhere, and then you can continue talking again. But you have to learn that in silence in your own fucking righteous way by meeting your resilience, which is your fucking ego right now. Okay? So, have a little whatever. Let me tell you, some of y'all don't know how the spirits of the astral love when y'all smoke, okay? Because you trigger things in the mind that is sexy for the astral realm to see you compute and try to make sense of. And then when you come into your body with your thoughts and you're like all of a sudden can't control your body because your body is giving you all these emotional sensories, you're like, you can't even handle this human experience and you want to know about aliens and all this vastness of space. Do you know the back of your hand? The Six of Swords, there's movement, all right? Movement to many various ways that this chaos shows, all right? All this real-time stagnant thing that seems solid, like these cards, this crystal. This is all computed energy that are working simultaneously at the same fucking time. It just looks still. That's all. That is all that it's doing. I can touch it, I can feel it, but in reality, it's not real. Anyway, so movement exists all the time, and to worry that you're not going to move from a dark situational life to more beautiful life is also an illusion, a perspective of the mind that you are not at fault to being in at this time. But there are elements to the world that you're in right now that you do not see. And one thing that you do not see is there are many things in your world to be actually grateful for. Truly grateful, not that you need to be reminded, not that you need to affirm them, that you are just high vibrational, an amazing human being with the personality of that of which it is you are. You don't need the house, you don't need the other person, you don't need that car, you don't need a 6-digit fucking bank account, you don't need all these things because all those things do not define the DNA of that which it is you are and the which it is you speak of. That's high vibrational respect from the ether telling you that through the Empress card, you are. In the reality of how dark prospectively life may show up in your reality of your waking hours and ticking of the time clock is also the perspective illusion that you're giving yourself because it is the reality that you're shaping in. Is it wrong? No. Do you want to make it righteous? Yes. How do we know that? Because one way you're here. But the here that's now is not here to save you because the here that's now has already saved you, but do you see it yet? There's a penalty that Taurus has earned over the last 3 years. And, oh yeah, I'm just going to speak in the High Priestess here, the inner voice. Yeah, exactly. So let me go back to that. There's a penalty. The penalty that Taurus developed in the last 3 years that you still have shit to make up for. Just because of universal law of justice. I'm not going to exploit it to you in the way that I really could at this time. And it's not to bring a mockery. It's not to claim that I can't do anything to bring specific. You get that word? Because I can't say it. Specifically? Difficult. I hope y'all are laughing. I can be very specific. But the goal of being specific for appeasing the mind to question the reader whether or not the things that you plan on doing are righteous or not is not the reason to, again, seek validation that to live your life you need compliments for. Run that back if you have to. Okay? The inner voice of which it is that you uphold, of course, creates conflict. And a lot of you, because you're a Taurus, you meet your resilience because you have no problem showing up as that the fucking Taurian energy and get shit done. That's where you get very physical and very into your body to show that you have power. And you can fight off a bully with your presence, always leading your inner voice. But the problem that happened like 3 years ago, or within the last 3 years, is that you prove to Ether that you're still also just a regular human being. And no matter how well you are at seeing the context clues of the mysteries of the esoterics, you still are also flawed. So whatever happened in the last 3 years really had to humble you after reaching spiritual conquests. In a way, reliving the fallen angels. And I say reliving that. For those of you who are paying attention. There's a lot of things that Ether could be mad at you for that you don't want to hear. But the reason that they're being said to you is because there's an obligation that you understand as Taurian energy, as the Hierophant of the major arcanas, to translate what is hard to be translated by the normal average thinking mind, that you have the power to actually transcribe and develop and bring and be the messenger for. However, again, going back to the injury of whatever the fuck happened to you in the last 3 years, there's an injury that made you pivot. I don't know where you are. I don't know who I'm speaking to directly. But whichever way you pivoted, it was put in position to see where you will go next. What you will do. It's like understanding Noah had understood his assignment. And then when the assignment followed through, what happened afterwards? Like, what happens after the fucking fame? What happens after the true situation is done? Anyway. We needed that interruption. Alright. Chariot. Progress. 2 of Cups. You always get lucky with that shit, Taurus. You really do. You really get lucky in the ways that you don't see, because I feel like a lot of you feel like triggered. But even triggered isn't, like, you feel like exploited. But you get lucky in seeing things in romantic viewpoints. There's a charm about you that Ether wants you to bring out more. Really lay out on your skin, on your senses, and to trust yourself within relationships. But the problem with trusting yourself is that if you focus so much on yourself, you forget on the other people that also help progress this type of relationship. Because you don't know how to actually, you understand the concept philosophically and theoretically, how to walk on someone's shoes. Yeah, the concept is to take off those shoes and actually put your fucking feet in there and realize it's not the same size as yours, but you are putting them on. It's uncomfortable. And that pain, you don't know what to do with. You don't know how to malleate or like you don't know how to like really coexist. There is like a mockery coming from you, and that's disappointing for Ether because of all the ways that you've sat with your inner voice, all the progress of work you've put forth in relationships that have come and gone, family in and out. There's a valuable person in that mirror as who you are. And however long you need is okay to Ether. However, you need to stand stronger in those decisions that you know don't work in your favor. Because that's where you duck and run a lot. I hope that makes sense for someone. All right. Sticky. All right. 4 of Gems. The Moon. Yeah, fucking Magician. Alright, sticky because you get the Moon and the Magician. Alright, it's not actually sticky, it's just sticky. You're kind of stuck. Some of you are going to be stuck having to deal with Mother Nature in either a project, fucking excursion, and there's going to be Virgo energy around that y'all are not going to like. Some of y'all need to be recreated in the way of just perspective. I mean, to be honest, it's just perspective anyway. Because whatever you're latching onto right now it's just very interesting. What you see as worthy and what you see as don't. Who you've let go when you know damn well those individuals you let go just because you didn't know how to fit them into your time and agenda actually probably were meant to be fit into your time and agenda. Like, that was a bad call. The reason what you realized, you were listening to your ego rather than your ancestors when you tried to ritualize your life to look a certain way, because some of y'all have been doing that with a lot of rituals, a lot of spell magic, witchery. Interesantes. All right, 10 of Wands, burdens. Page of Wands, invention. And last but not least, 6 of Wands, achievement. Well, isn't that beautiful? You always have something good to look forward to. You have a security by being an earth sign, which you forget. So you need to be blasted and really yelled at in a certain way to mind your own audacity. Truly. Because with all this green at your exposure, I mean, you understand a lot of people's sympathy, lack of sympathy, service, compliments, charm, charisma, sex, passion, relationships, engagement, proposals, dating. The game of socialization, you got it going on because people love you, Taurus. And you don't want to be exposed for the bullshit that you've done. So that's part of the other reason why the obsession of ritualizing more to come, because you kind of want to, like, distract others from the bad parts of you. If you're a stranger to me and this resonates, stop hiding, because someone reads it. Someone will call out bullshit. Someone will exploit what you don't want to be exploited. It's all innocently. No one's out here to get you. No one's out to harm you. I don't see none of that. All right, I'm leaving the messages where they are, Taurus. I'm asking you to check out the description box below to see if you'd like any of my services. And wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.